Hey guys, it's your girl DJ here to be by your side through ups and downs. I want to start this episode by making sure each one of you guys is home, healthy, taking good care of your physical health as well as your mental health. And I want to apologize for being inactive on my podcast platforms and on Instagram, and that's because I was sick for almost 3 weeks. I think you can hear it in my voice. And I had a lot of schoolwork. I had exams, essays, and I had classes for up to 7 hours a day, which takes a lot of your time and energy. So I could not record anything for you guys. I miss podcasting so much. So I'm back on track. You will see daily updates on Instagram, daily posts, and I have highlights every day for a word of the day and for my faves of the week and some messages. So go check that out. And you will see an episode every week on Friday, 12 p.m. KSA on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, and on YouTube. So I started my YouTube channel. I promised you guys I will, and I explained why in one of my episodes. So I did that. All of the episodes that I posted are available now on YouTube. I spoke to some of my friends. They said that it's way easier to listen and watch in the same time. So you can go subscribe to my YouTube channel. I will obviously link it down below, and I want your opinion, which one is easier to focus on, the video or the audio. And like you saw in this week's title, we will be talking all about what is holding us from the person we want to be. So yeah, let's get into it. Honestly, I ask myself this question so many times a day on so many different levels. I just start asking questions related to the same theme and same problem, which is what is keeping me from being the person I want to be, the person that I esteem to be. So I sat there and started asking. No answer, no solution, nothing. And I was sick of it. I was sick of asking things and having no answer. So I decided a few days ago that I want to find the solution. So I sat down with my journal and I started writing what is the me that I want to be. What do I esteem for to see in myself? What is the thing that I want to see in myself in the future, and why do I want to have this thing, and how it's gonna beneficial my soul and my health and my whole well-being. I wrote everything. I got a lot out of my heart and brain. Then I read it out loud, and I realized that I compare myself so much to others, especially social media, people or influencers, whether it's people I know with a big platform or creators that I like and follow. I've talked about this before. I have a full episode on this. It's the episode right before this one, I'm pretty sure. And I said that we should not compare ourselves, but in reality, we try not to compare ourselves, and we try to keep the idea that he or she, the person who's influencing me, is a whole different human being than I am. But when, for example, we watch a video and they had a day off, so they did all of these productive activities, they did nothing as a waste of time, then we look out at ourselves and what we did in that day, and it will be 1-2 productive things, and after that we laid all day on the sofa or the bed and watched Netflix or Instagram, and we're oh my god, this person did so much and I did nothing. So we compare ourselves in a way we don't even notice. And when we're saying that, we don't know we're comparing ourselves, but in reality, we're bringing ourselves down even if it's the 0.01% each time, but the percentage builds up, and we're gonna like be down because of ourselves. So I want you, as a person who's being influenced by whoever it is, to watch the video, and if you feel like you should do something, do this thing because you're convinced that it's gonna be beneficial for you, not because you saw someone doing it and that someone is picture perfect in your eyes. And by picture perfect, I mean the person that we think is perfect. Everything they do is right. They have the perfect body, activities, they have their work together, they have their whole shit together. Like, they're just perfect, but in our eyes. And I want you to know that there's nothing called a perfect human being, except ourselves. But like, we should not see people as perfect things, because nobody is perfect. Again, I said perfect like 100 times, but I really want to emphasize on the idea that whatever you see on social media isn't actually true, and it's not always the right thing that they do. They, like, a lot of influencers are like influenced by the camera or the cell phone or quote or anything, and they want to spread the positive part of their whole life. I've talked about this a lot in my last episode, but I don't want to really talk about this. But we build a picture perfect idea of someone because we see it on so many other people. Like, I don't know, this brand is worn by so many different influencers, so I should wear that brand, even though I don't like what they create, I don't like their idea, I don't like anything they do, but big influencers are doing it, so I should do that, because they're perfect. So for me, the only perfect human being is myself, and I'm not 100% perfect. I need to improve, and that improvement comes from me and myself only. When I realize my mistakes, and when I realize what I did was wrong, and try to improve, even though it's gonna be hard, even though I'm gonna repeat every mistake like 100 times before I learn my lesson, I'm trying my best, and that's being perfect in my own eyes, because I am a person who works hard. I'm a person who doesn't take no from him or herself as an answer. Like, for example, I have a bad habit of doing something and I want to stop it, but I did it like after I said the sentence. It's okay, we're human beings, we do mistakes, we flop, we can go back on track the second we want to. And even at the gym, which is not even like a habit builder or something that makes you perfect, you have resting days, you have cheat days. In everything in life, you should have rest and cheating days. That's what makes you perfect. You're perfectly imperfect. Your imperfections and cheat days and rest hours, rest days, rest activities make you perfect and stronger. So I want you to take care of yourself. Like, you have in quarantine like a day without work or meetings or anything, take that for yourself. Don't try to do the whole, don't clean the whole house inch by inch. Clean, okay, your room, your bathrooms, or your kitchen and your room, but your room and your living room, something like 2 rooms in your house. Then put a face mask on, go take a bath, I don't know, do something that's beneficial for yourself, and that doesn't have to be like physical treatment or taking care of your physical beauty. You can also go meditate, you can read a book, you can watch movies all day. Do something that will make you rest and make you the perfect human being for the days that are coming. And I want you to look up to yourself, look up to who you are, and watch yourself grow. Like, you are not the human being you were. You are a better version of it. You're working on yourself to be the best you can be, and that's being perfect while having imperfections, if you will. I don't like calling them imperfections because we're humans. Like, we all have imperfections, and it's a common thing because nobody's perfect again. I rambled a lot. I really want to talk about this, and I did not script this. I have no bullet points even. So I really wanted to talk to you like if it was a regular conversation. So the first part was about social media and how it makes us lose track from the person we want to be and how we esteem to be. And with social media comes overthinking, and like social media is pretty like new. It's not even 100 years old, but overthinking is at least 20 years old. Statistically speaking, the average teenager, like the average 15-year-old in 2017, had anxiety, and anxiety comes with overthinking. And like 3 years ago, a 15-year-old, like a regular 15-year-old, was on medication for anxiety, which for me is way too young. Like, he's a or she's a 15-year-old, they're still kids. But like, imagine 3 years ago, 15-year-olds. In 2025, I think the average 11-year-old will be on medication for anxiety thanks to everything that's happening and social media. But that's a whole other like episode. But overthinking is based on us. Like, we overthink because we want to overthink. It's a bad habit, okay? And I'm speaking about myself as well. I overthink everything from my outfits to my hair, my eyebrows, anything related to my facial features. Even how I walk, because one of my my right foot is really crooked to the right, so I walk weirdly. So I always overthink, oh my god, what are they gonna say? She walks like a penguin. Oh my god. Do you think they're looking at me? We always overthink, and questions that come with overthinking are like so frustrating because they always bring us down. There's no way overthinking gives us a positive question to think about or a positive thing to think about except stopping overthinking. So I want you to take control over your thoughts, and by you I mean me and you. We need to take control over our thoughts because we control them. They're not the boss of us. They're not who controls our body. They're not what we want. Like, the thoughts we get while overthinking are not what we want. So we need to stop. If you're religious, when you overthink, try praying. If you're not religious, try doing anything you would like. Even if you're religious, do anything that you would like. Read something, do anything, go like jump around your house, do anything that, even if it's stupid, for the rest of the people to see, it's not stupid in your eyes. So go do it. Again, you are picture perfect in your own eyes. So go get those thoughts out of your body through something you like to do. For example, I go to my mic and start like talking and talking and talking and talking like I'm talking to someone or a therapist. But sometimes I don't upload these episodes or segments because they're way too personal, and that's okay because we all have our personal lives that we don't want to share on social media. And we should not share something we're not convinced in and something we don't want to share. So don't overthink what you're doing. You're a gentleman, you're a wonderful lady, you are smart, beautiful, no matter what your race is, what your sexuality is. Speaking of sexualities, happy Pride Month. It's my first episode in Pride Month, and I will talk about sexuality in the next episode, so stay tuned for that. So no matter what your race is, no matter what your sexuality is, no matter where you are from, your religion, no matter what, you are a human being. You are not perfect, but you should just can take control over yourself, your thoughts, your feelings, because you are the boss of you. You choose what you want to do. You are the person who's in charge of your own thoughts and your own actions. So take responsibility of yourself like you are your younger sibling. See yourself as another human being and take care of that other human being like you take care of the rest, because we all take care of people better than we take care of ourselves. So yeah, I really wanted to get that out of my system. I want you guys to be able to control your own thoughts, and if you're having problems with anything, don't hesitate to talk to me on Instagram or through emails. And I really hope you can all get through that bad time. Overthinking isn't a happy place for all of us, so try every time you overthink to do something. Don't let your thoughts eat you alive. So yeah, that was the part about overthinking. I hope you found it helpful. We have reached the end of this episode. I hope you found it helpful and that the tips and tricks mentioned earlier will be included in your daily self-care routine. But before I sign off, I want to emphasize on two things, which are that we are the picture perfect we should look up to, and we should never compare ourselves to anyone, especially people on social media. I've said this so many times in this episode, but it's way too important to not. So yeah, this is your weekly podcast, Ups and Downs. I am your host, GJ, and I will see you every Friday at 12 p.m. KSA. You can find me on Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and you can talk to me about whatever you want, whenever you want on Instagram. Instagram.com/ups and downs podcast, but the D between and downs is 1D in common. And I created a YouTube channel, like I said, so go subscribe. I love you all. Stay healthy, stay safe, and stay positive.